Hello, I'm not Chuck. Some of you know that I'm interested in electronics and I design simple electronic gadgets that have to do with RVing or YouTubing. Today I have a new one that I want you to see. It has a connection to making videos, especially while on the road in my RV. But it's also useful at home. It's a very inexpensive way to record better audio to go with your video, whether you do voiceovers or real-time narration, live streaming, or even podcasts. If any of that interests you, this video is for you. If you've bought a new laptop computer recently, chances are it doesn't have an input for an external microphone. And the internal microphone may leave something to be desired in terms of audio quality. Here's a possible answer. It's the one that I use. It's a Behringer UCA202 audio interface. Let me show you how it connects. This is a diagram that I adapted from one in the UCA202 user manual. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner, there's a thing called a mixer, which allows you to connect several different audio sources, including microphones, into the UCA202. In the upper right-hand corner, a set of analog speakers. In the bottom right-hand corner, a set of headphones, which are also analog devices. And then a picture of a laptop computer with a double-ended line, a line that has arrowheads on both ends, between the computer and the UCA202. That indicates that the connection is two-way. Data goes from the computer to the UCA202 and from the UCA202 back to the computer through a USB connection. For my purposes, I don't intend to use a set of external speakers, so let's take that off the diagram. The output from most mixers is at line level. That means the voltage of the signal coming out of the mixer is somewhere between 1/2 and 1 volt peak to peak. That allows you to connect directly to the UCA202 and use the mixer to boost the level of the microphone to that line level output. But I don't want to use a big mixer, so I'm going to do something different. Instead of an audio mixer, I decided to use just a preamp for a microphone. This diagram shows a Rolls MP13 mini mic preamp connected. It works pretty well. Here's the actual device. As you can see, it's fairly large for a preamp. It does have a gain control on the front, an on and off switch. It has connections for the input-output, the input being the microphone and the output going to the UCA202. It also has a jack for a power connector. Because I couldn't find a mic preamp that was as small as I wanted and did the things I wanted it to do, I decided to design my own preamp, and this is the result. Let me zoom in just a little bit and tell you about it. The preamp consists of 2 transistors, 6 capacitors, 12 resistors, and a couple of other items. It has a connection point on this end for the audio input, in my case a microphone, and connections on this end for a DC power input and an audio output connection. The mic preamp design includes the necessary circuitry to power an electret microphone. This is a capsule. I've soldered 2 wires on it, a red and a black. The red wire plugs into the positive terminal. The black wire plugs into the negative terminal, and the mic is now ready to go. Next step is to add some power. This version of the mic preamp is designed to run on 9 volts. I'm using a 9-volt battery. The power requirements are quite low, and the battery should last a good long time. I connect the battery to the preamp by plugging it in. The red wire goes to the positive terminal. The black wire goes to the negative terminal. As you can see, the LED has lit, indicating that the preamp is now under power. The next step is to connect the preamp to the UCA202. For that, I need a connector to plug onto the printed circuit board with an RCA plug on the opposite end. The white wire goes to the positive terminal, the black wire goes to the negative, and that's all there is to making that connection. Now I plug the RCA connector into the left connector on the input of the UCA202, plug the USB connector from the UCA202 into my computer, and I'm ready to record. This is a test of the monaural version of my bipolar junction transistor microphone preamplifier. The circuit is being powered by a 9-volt battery, and the output is being fed into a Behringer UCA202 USB interface connected to my laptop computer. The microphone being used is an electret capsule and is not in an enclosure. The printed circuit board assembly conforms to revision 9 of the schematic drawing. The measured gain of the assembly is approximately 42x. I hope you found that interesting. When I started this channel, I promised that I would not ask you for money. And so far, I've kept that promise. I don't do Super Chats or Patreon or PayPal, and I specifically have requested and still request that you don't send me any swag or anything of any significant value. On the other hand, I don't want to keep you from having this mic preamp or any other gadget that I might develop if you really have a need for it. So I have decided to offer this device, the mic preamp, and whatever else I might develop in the future for sale on Tindie.com, Tindie.com. It's a sales site that specializes in electronics. My spot there is Trace Communications, Trace Communications. Buy something from me if you really want it or really need it, but don't buy it for any other reason. I don't need the money. Thanks. And don't forget, I'm not Chuck.